G'day, TRBrice here for assignment 3. Going to be talking all things job interviews. Going to be talking about the different types of job interviews I may expect, the types of questions I may expect, and what I would need to do to give myself the best chance of success if I were to apply for the jobs I've mentioned in assignment 2. Now, I've got all my information from the course textbook, Skills for Success, the course page, week 7 PowerPoint, which is the job interview skills, and a number of different articles which I have mentioned on the Word document which will accompany this video. Now, the job interview process is exactly that, and it would start often, I would expect, with a screening interview, which can quite often be over the phone. It's done over the phone so they can reach out to a large pool of potential candidates, and that way they can narrow it down in a quick, inexpensive way. And these interviews are often predominantly closed questions, and everyone will get asked the same question, and it is just to validate whether or not the person applying knows what they're talking about and is who they say they are on their CV. Now, provided I would get past that stage, I would expect to have either a one-on-one interview, which is exactly that, just with one person, or an interview with a panel, which would be 2 or more people, each of which being involved in the interview and hiring process. Now, I wouldn't expect to have to deal with a group situation because the jobs that I'll be doing is very much about building rapport one-on-one with the customers. So it's not relevant to the group situation. Now, I found the article, Behavioural Interviewing and Why You Should Care, to give the most concise rundown of the different types of questions I might receive. And they've actually put it into 3 groups. So they've got general questions, behavioural questions, and situational questions. Now, the general questions are those that are open or closed or open. Like I previously mentioned, closed. Open are generally pretty relaxed questions where it can lead anywhere, and they're good to work out, to build a rapport, get a feel of the candidate, and give them the opportunity to show a bit of personality and try and develop their strengths in the eyes of the interviewer. And the closed questions are exactly what I've said before, just validating right or wrong answers, pretty much. Now, then you have the behavioural type questions, which are all about how the candidate has behaved in the past, given certain situations. Now, these questions are to develop an understanding of who the candidate is and to reach a conclusion of past behaviour, predicting future behaviour. Now, similar to the behavioural questions are the situational questions. Now, the situational questions are hypothetical questions, putting the candidate in certain scenarios and asking how they would behave. Now, this would give the interviewers an understanding of what the person's like and obviously how they will behave in the future. Now, there are different types of interviews. On top of that, a long list, which I won't go into because they're not really relevant to the jobs that I would be applying for. Now, to give myself the best chance of getting through this process and being successful, I'd start by doing a lot of preparation. Preparation is key. Now, you want to learn as much as you can about the company, you want to learn about the industry, and also you want to try and predict what kind of questions that they will ask you. So by predicting what kind of questions they're going to ask you, you can then work out concise, accurate answers when you are emphasizing your strengths and trying to maybe stay away from your weaknesses. In doing this, you want to make sure if it's in a panel situation, you want to be making sure that you're making eye contact with everyone and engaging everyone, not just the question asker, but the whole panel as a whole. Now, one-on-one, it's all about rapport. You want to go in there confident and project positivity and energy and confidence without looking arrogant. Now, presentation is an easy one. I would hate to think that someone would have to read it in a book to know that rocking up to a job interview, you want to be looking sharp, you want a nice, crisp ironed shirt, good slacks, make sure the little 1% things are done, make sure you've got your shoes polished, fingernails clean, no exposed tattoos, not that I have to worry about that. Yeah, and just to come across as the respectable human being that you are. or that your mum thinks you are anyway. That's about it for me. Oh, another thing would be to get there nice and early, because you're going to be very, very nervous. I'm going to be nervous. So just to make sure you know exactly where you're going for the interview, give yourself plenty of time, and just be relaxed and confident. There's a reason that you've got that far. It's because they think you are potential. So that's the confidence you need to take in, and hopefully that works for me. Thank you very much for your time, and goodbye.